Hello YouTube, Scamp the Wolf here, and I'm going to be doing another CD collection video, the first one in a while, and this is of the band Seether, one of my favorite hard rock bands. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started. This is their first album, Disclaimer, and the re-release Disclaimer 2. Now, this is probably one of their best, and Disclaimer 2 is actually the first Seether album that I ever picked up. So, yeah, it's pretty good. So, some good tracks on here. Fine Again, um, Pride, Needles, Driven Under is pretty good. Your Bore, Fuck It, Broken. Yeah, there is a lot of good stuff on this album, on Disclaimer. And then Disclaimer 2, you have some bonus songs and a DVD on it. Of course, Broken featuring Amy Lee of Evanescence. I think anyone can say that that's a better rendition of that song than the original. But there's also like Hang On, Cigarettes, Sold Me, like all kinds of like soundtrack stuff that they compiled for Disclaimer 2. So both of these albums are very good. Like I don't consider Disclaimer 2 like their second studio album though, because like a lot of people do, but I don't, because it's basically a re-release with DVDs and all that stuff. So yeah, that's Cedar, Disclaimer. Next up is one of their best, Karma and Effect, and this one actually might be my favorite. Either this one or Holding on to Strings Better Left to Fray is my favorite from Cedar. This is a more raw album, a more dark album, probably their darkest album to date. You have songs like Burrito, Given, which is my favorite song on the album. There's tracks like Tongue, Disease. There's World Falls Away. There's, of course, Remedy and Because of Me. There's just a ton of great songs on this album. There isn't really a weak moment on this album, so that's why I consider Karma and Effect their best. Because this is their masterpiece. This is their best album in my opinion. So yeah, Seether, Karma and Effect. This one is One Cold Night. This is a live acoustic album that they released a year after Karma and Effect, and it's pretty interesting. Like, if you want to see some of the songs on their previous two albums performed live, then you have this album right here. And there's some good stuff. There's even some stuff on here that from when they were called Sarin Gas, which of course was a controversial name, and they had to change it to Seether, which is the name of a Veruca Salt song. I would like to check out Veruca Salt one day, so yeah, but it's beside the point. The point is, One Cold Night, good live acoustic album. They haven't made a live album before, like, since this, and that's something I would like to see from Seether at some point. So, One Cold Night. Next up, we get into what is probably my least favorite Seether album, Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces. Either this one or Isolatemedicate, but, you know, this one, like, it's got good production and stuff, but, like, there's songs I don't really return to that much, and there's a couple of outright questionable moments on here. Some good songs on here, though, like Suicide, Breakdown, Waste, which is my favorite song on the album, and Rise Above This, I think are pretty good. I don't know, it's not one of their best, but it is okay. It's not their best, but it's okay. This is also the re-release with the Careless Whisper cover on it, and that's pretty decent, I guess. Whatever. So that's either Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces. Next up, we get into what is one of their best, Holding on to Strings Better Left to Fray. And there's a ton of good songs on this album. This was actually my second Seether CD because I got into them when this album came out. And this is actually the deluxe edition with the DVD and bonus tracks on it. You get songs like Fur Q, You get songs like Master of Disaster, Fade Out, Roses, Down, Here and Now, Country Song, Tonight, Desire for Need. There's a ton of good songs on this album. This is definitely one of their best, so if you're a Seether fan, you should definitely pick this album up. So that's Holding On to Strings, Better Left to Fray. Next up is Cedar 2002 to 2013. This is a greatest hits CD. Cover artwork's kind of immature, but whatever. And this is just a compilation. This is their first greatest hits compilation album. And it also has some B-sides on it and stuff like that, and like demos and all that stuff. So if you're a Seether fan, this is a very interesting pickup for you. Like, you should definitely have this in your collection. If you want to hear some bonus songs that weren't on the other albums, then definitely seek this out. Next up we have Isolatemedicate. This is one of their weaker albums in my opinion. It's fine, but Seether has done a lot better in my opinion. Like, some good songs on here. My Disaster is good. See You at the Bottom. Words of Weapons. Keep the Dogs at Bay. Even Nobody Praying for Me and Save Today. Those are pretty good, but this isn't really one of their best, but it's still pretty good. This is also the deluxe edition, which has a song from Cedar 2002 to 2013, which is the song Weak. And yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that's Cedar, Isolate, and Medicate. Next up we have Poison the Parish, which, again, not one of their best, but it's still pretty good. It's a more raw sounding Cedar album. There's some good songs on here. Stoke the Fire, Betray and Degrade, Let You Down, Let Me Heal, Against the Wall is good, Saviors is a pretty good song, and there's a lot of good songs on this album. This is also the deluxe edition, and it has some bonus songs on it that are pretty good. So yeah, that's Poison the Parish. Not one of their best, but it's still pretty good. We have their second greatest hits compilation album, The Very Best of Seether. This was exclusive to Walmart stores. I saw this, I didn't even know they released it, and then I just decided to get it. It was my birthday too, fun fact. But yeah, this is just a compilation of like hits, basically. Like, if you're new to Seether, it would be a good start, I guess, but like, just to get an idea of what they're about. But I think the other compilation is better than this, personally. But it's still pretty good to have. So yeah, that's The Very Best of Seether. And finally, we have Civis Pacem Parabellum. This is their latest album, and it's slightly better than Poison the Parish. I think this is kind of a return to form. It's another one of their darkest albums, but it's also a continuation of Poison the Parish, which I think is pretty good. You have some good songs on here. Wasteland, Dangerous is good. Can't Go Wrong is a pretty good song. Failure, Beg. There's Pride Before the Fall. There's Waste Away, I think that's what the song is called. No, my bad, it's Drift Away, not Waste Away. Sorry about that. And Buried in the Sand is okay, I guess. Written in Stone's pretty good. So that's their latest album, Civis Pacem Parabellum, and that does it for my Seether collection. I hope you enjoyed this, and this is probably going to be one of the last videos I record on my phone, because I just got a new camera and I can't wait to get that. I still have to get the memory card for that, and that will be happening pretty soon. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Scamp the Wolf signing off, and take care.